that?
So this piece actually started as a commission for the Dartmoor Folk Festival. Similar to what I did with my last production, I looked at the tales and stories that I loved when I was younger, and I found myself looking at the poems of Edward Lear. What interests me about these sort of old classical tales is often there isn't a lot of character description. So you'd have the basic characters. You know there's an owl and you know there's a pussycat, and you know that they were married by a turkey on a hill, but it says nothing about what these characters were like, and that's what I love. You have a blank canvas.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Reynard H. Fox.
The H stands for Hillary.
Yes, thank you, Rabbit.
And I'm Rabbit. Just Rabbit.
So Reynard H. Fox and Rabbit, just Rabbit, initially came about as an idea for a show for Hengistbury Headlines. We were wanting to do something which would have two storytellers who could cover a wide range of topics and have some kind of interesting dynamic between them. And
We do a show, and we bring this suitcase along.
For Reynard H. Fox and Rabbit, just Rabbit, over the last 12 months or so, they've grown and so on. But there's always a fundamental tension because Fox would quite like to eat Rabbit, and Rabbit's just a little bit smarter than Fox.
Do you have a favourite food? Mine's Rabbit. A rapidly cooked onion omelette.
And they became the mainstays, the sort of background for the Owl and the Pussycat.
It was really fun turning an original nonsense poem by Edward Lear into an hour-long play, because I got to mess about with the characters that we hear in the original story and turn them into characters of their own. For instance, we've turned the owl into a lovesick brummie.
Well, I guess we should wed. Though it fills me with dread, but I love you from my beak to my wing.
Pussycat is quite a posh and determined, headstrong young lady.
Shush! You silly, some fox!
I let the puppets evolve themselves as much as possible. I have a vague design in my head, but as I make them and as I mould the face, I let them do their own thing and come out. And quite often, from the making of the puppet, the character comes, and from the character that has come from that, I can sort of write in the script things that character would do, that character would say, or from how they've established themselves through the making of them as a puppet.
Might I remind you, your fiancé is sat just over there, and you really need to pull yourself together.
I was only admiring his natural talents. But yes, I suppose you're right. Call me.
The music for Owl and Pussycat developed with two things in tandem, really. Trying to make music that felt suitable to what we wanted to do with the piece, and also some fairly major practical concerns, it being a two-hander with a lot of scene change, a lot of puppetry going on. So we needed to find a way to create sound even when we were busy, which was where the idea of using a loop pedal came in.
How's that? Rollicking enough for you?
Just need to check.
Roll across the middle. Yeah. Shall we?
So yeah, the sound for the initial version of the song came purely from the lyrics that Jackie had written, but then it was how to make it an effective, dramatic journey through the song. Which is where the loop pedal's been an invaluable thing. The song I possibly had the most fun writing, though, was for the pig.
That if we give you our invisible shilling, you will be as happy as a pig in
The owl at the top, pig on the sea. I dress real sharp and act real mean, 'cause hey, I'm Elvis Pixley.
Elvis Pixley is a name to be reckoned with. He's Elvis Pixley, and so he needed a full-on rock and roll sound. And I've never written a rock and roll song before in my life, so it was an enjoyable little trip through some vintage 50s rock and roll, and coming out with something at the other side that I think gives us a good piggish flavour of Elvis.
I'm Elvis Pixley. I said, hey, I'm Elvis Pixley. I said, hey, I'm Elvis Pixley. Thank you very much. I have to say, bloop, 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 bloop. So we're deep under the ocean now.
Yeah.
So the rehearsal process was really interesting because there was only two of us as performers in the space. There was no direction, no outside eye. So we had to really trust our instincts that what we were creating would appeal to our audience. And the stories in our head, what we had down on paper, all the ideas would eventually translate into something, highly watchable, and, really produce a strong end product.
Well, good job I can fly, really. And walking around with only one kneecap could prove problematic, wouldn't you agree?
It's hard work with just two people because things can be frustrating and you've only got your two brains to rely on. If something goes wrong, you really have to start thinking what you could do differently.
But it does rather suit me.
So it pushes your creativity, which is fantastic. As theatre makers, we should always be pushing our creativity. And I think this piece and the way we produced it has certainly done that. We are an army of two. And I think, we've worked really well to achieve a fantastic end product.
House on the crew of the Pussycat. Scatter up top.
Story evolution, my dear folks.
It was very funny. It was scary and it was exciting.
I thought it was wonderful. I thought the puppets were brilliant.
It was really fun. I loved the music and the storytelling is a fabulous idea.
Rabbit? Yeah. I'm really not entirely sure I know what's happening anymore.